coffee came from the South America.
That's the red one.
Yes, the red one. This is we call the coffee belt. Okay.
Okay.
Now there are some new place. Example, we are very scary about in the future about China, because China started a couple of years ago a production of green coffee. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yes, and many years ago, China was a nation that was, you have an idea, you do something, but the China copy. Faster, better, cheap, but they copy. But now China, they not copy. They use new generation, they have a different approach. Example, in the coffee business, in the coffee industry, China people do a very impressive level of technician. It's amazing how now they are in advance against Europe. And this is something that will be very scary. But I told you before, there is something that they can buy, is passion. So yeah. I'm quite sure that, of course, if you live in this area, for you is not. But normally, for these people is impossible to create is the value, and value is created by history, passion, and everything. But we have to be carefully, because the level now for the China example coffee machine, you know the Sanremo, no? The racer. Have you seen them? The Sanremo racer. I saw the copy did in China, 2,000 euro. 2,000 euro. This coffee machine normally costs 20,000 euro. But you know what is funny? This machine works great. And if you are scary about the assistance, there is no problem, because you put the machine in the garbage and you buy another machine. Because for 2,000 euro,
it's impossible. Yeah.
Impossible.
Wow.
Okay. By the way, so Arabica, Robusta, how Caffè Cagliari manage these two origins? Basically, the first point is that we buy directly coffee from the producer. So Caffè Cagliari has a directly partnership with the producer. So this means that we not buy coffee that is already available in Italy. This is very important, because you have two options. The one option, like Caffè Cagliari, that is more complicated, because you need a broker, and you have to ask to the broker, I want this kind of coffee. And you receive
like samples.
Sample.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is sample. Mm-hmm. The coffee come here. You do panel. Actually, in Caffè Cagliari there is a panel with 5 people. We test the coffee, and we do like a judgment about this coffee, full body, sweetness, bitterness, and then you have to be very specific to speak with the broker that he will resend this information to the producer, because the coffee in any case is a mix of different coffee that came. In Italy, we have one region that there is one, I think that you like drink wine. Have you heard it? Millesimato? Millesimato is a characteristic of wine where the producer is able to give you a bottle of wine, where all the grapes came from one unique single piece of land. It's not a combination from different wines. This is the millesimato. In the coffee, this is not possible when you work in the industrial sector, because you can imagine how many coffee you need. If you are a small company, if you are a small roastery, maybe you have the chance to buy from a small farmer, and you can work with only one type of Guatemala example. For our, this is not possible, because we need a lot of coffee, and there is another one important thing, Super Oro, no? That is one of our most. For you, must be the same from January to December, 365 days. If I buy coffee from one unique producer with one unique piece of land, how I can give you the warranty that in 1 year this coffee is the same. It's impossible. So my challenge is to find the best supplier that give me in 1 year the same type of Arabica Brazil Santos 16, 18 for 1 year. Because you drink is every time I have to do the same coffee that is in your perception.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, this is very important. And for this reason, example, in this, okay, let me check just, okay. Okay, in this sample, it's possible that you have maybe 4 or 5 different Brazil that came from different farmer. Because one farmer has a coffee that is more acidic, with a lot of acidity, another is more sweet. So this creates a combination. We use in our production in 1 year, 70% of the coffee that we use is from Brazil, because Brazil is like the how can I tell you? Is the tomato like in the Italian kitchen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In Italian kitchen, tomato you can use everywhere. Okay, fish, pasta, lasagna, everything. You can paint the house with the tomato.
Yeah.
Okay. This company, that Workshop is one of the biggest, not producer, but company that collect coffee from all the farmers and create the blend. There is another panel in Guaxupé, and we speak the same language. Because when I ask a coffee with more full body, they have to speak the same language. And this is very important. Because in the reason that we have to retest, so we have to do another test, you can imagine how many times we lose. So for this reason, it's very important to have a very great feeling with the company where you buy coffee.
Yeah.
Okay? I need more acidity, so they have to, because in the end, don't forget that the coffee in any case is a blend. Arabica Robusta or on, when you drink one, today you will have a test with our 100% Arabica. In any case, it's a blend. Everything is a blend. And some point different in the Brazil can change a lot the blend in the final Super Oro.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Okay? It's enough to move 2 points, just to give you an idea, in the Brazil, and maybe in the final blend, you lose 3-4 points. Just to say that sometimes it's not possible. And this is our work. Because in the end, when you roasted the coffee, the machine roasts the coffee, not you. And this is the real, this place is probably for me, of course, this is I manage this panel, so I'm in charge for the quality. I think that in the end, this is the real treasure of the company, not the roasting machine. Okay, it is from Germany.
Robert.
The machine is from Germany.
Yeah.
But in the reason that many times we fight with the software, we change with Italian. So now we have a woman from Germany that speak Italian. This is the best.
Oh, cool.
No,
other way around.
No.
Huh? No.
Because I show you after why we use Italian software. But in any case, all that's happened outside from this door is very similar to other roasted coffee company. Because roastery machine, you can buy now a modern roastery machine that you can manage with the phone if you want. But it's the machine. But what you put inside the machine, this is your treasure. Is your experience, is your passion. With this company, we are in business probably 36 years. So
very long time, yeah.
And if you go there, maybe in the future you will have the chance to go in Guaxupé, in Santos area, and you go there, there is a desk with all the Caffè Cagliari blend chosen for us. So this is very important.
Wow.
We have to be very, like a snipers. We have to be very sure to arrive very quickly to find the right taste. So this is the green coffee. About this, there is a good news and one bad news. The good news is that if you eat, you not die. So it's not poison.
Yeah.
Okay. The bad news is that no taste. Probably you can eat, you will have some perception about vegetables, very hard like stones, but there is no flour. There is nothing.
No flavor, you mean?
Nothing.
Yeah.
There is is nothing. And maybe here you have 10, 15, we say sensorial perception. How do you know? Is very limited number of of parameters. 10, 15, no more. You roast the coffee, 10,000. It's incredible how the coffee changes. The coffee will lose 20% of the weight because there is water inside. They increase the size about 20% and produce sensorial parameters. And this is incredible. So for this reason, every time that you mix coffee together, you have to create the perfect balance.
Which is quite difficult.
It's difficult because just an idea, no? I can speak about Italy. Sorry, but we are here, so.
Yeah.
Italy, there are less than 3,000 companies that work in the business coffee. Okay, from north of Italy to south of Italy. There is a difference for you from a guys who live in Bolzano and another guys that live in Naples. For you?
Quite.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Bolzano to Naples is about probably less than 1,000 kilometers. Okay? Bolzano, Modena, Bologna, Firenze, Roma, Naples.
Aber Kaffee ist überall gut.
The coffee change every 25 kilometers.
Yeah, coffee taste.
Amazing. Amazing. How the coffee change. If you go in the United States, you arrive in JFK, go in Starbucks, take the coffee in a paper, they call Marcus! $4. Take the plane, go in San Francisco, go in Starbucks. Marcus is Marcus and coffee is the same.
Yes.
5,000 kilometers. So coffee change for territory and culture. And this was very, very connected many years ago when there were a lot of local roastery. Around Modena, that is not a big city, there were 7 companies that roasted coffee. And all of these work in the city, no? Because there were a lot of bars, a lot of activity, there was no Facebook, no Instagram. To have an exchange, you have to speak with the people directly. One of the oldest Facebook in the world was the Square, the main square. The main square was the point zero of our social media. Because if you want to know something about your neighbors, you have to go on the square, and it was free. They no charge. You don't need the phone. You don't need to pay. You don't need to make. You don't need to use special software. So the coffee changed a lot, and coffee became part of our history. This is incredible, because in Italy, it's not only drink coffee. Because if you think about it, we call espresso, no? Because the history says that espresso because the machine give coffee espresso, so means speed at the time. Espresso in Italy is quickly. So go in the bar, one coffee, ta 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 ta, drink 25 millimeters in 27 seconds, and drink in how much? 7-10 seconds.
Ein Schluck.
It's very fast. But this is the action. just to drink the coffee, but it's not the real action. Because the action is to go inside the bar, hello to the barista,
Yeah.
speak with your friend, read the magazine. So most of the time you spend more time to speak than drink. Okay? So this means this is for me is very important because you have to understand what is behind our culture, how we are so focused in the espresso Italiano, no? Because for
Yeah.
us it's something
Oh, yeah.
that is very is in our soul. Okay? So for this reason, you start to create a blend, and of course, when the blend is connected to a bar and you have customers, it's very difficult to change now, especially with the new generation. That first, they not smoke like in the past, or if they smoke, they smoke different. They not drink super alcoholic. In Italy, it was normal to drink we call grappa as
Yeah.
schnapps.
Yeah.
So and the new generation they want to use sugar. So this is now is 4 grams. 10 years ago was 8. So the people use the new generation use less sugar. So how now you can win this challenge? Example, in these last 5-6 years, the coffee changed a little bit to some coffee that is more acidity, because they want to create something in your mouth to the perception, okay, the aftertaste, and you can do only with acidity. If you go in south of Italy, it's totally different. The people still drink coffee over roasted, very dark, because in Naples you don't drink coffee, you drink Naples. This is the difference. You drink acidity, okay? Yes, you not drink coffee. Coffee is terrible. It's terrible. Nobody wants to drink coffee in Naples because it's me, but you drink the city, and this is the difference. So they do an incredible marketing action, not to drink a coffee, because probably the worst company in the world are in Naples, but cancel this. But it's good because they drink Naples. So in Naples, the coffee must be this.
By lever machine.
Lever machine, most of the time is 100% Robusta, strong, is very hard, no acidity. Because this is Naples. So, but this is if we have to, maybe in a movie, and you are in a movie like Back to the Future, and you come back in Naples in the next 200 years, I'm sure that the coffee will be the same.
You think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But example, yes, of course, they not change. But example, we move a little bit our blend in the Caffè Cagliari for follow the new generation and the new perception, no? Because of course, many years ago, Marcus is a witness. He's on social media. He make video. So the people
Sometimes,
sometimes. So the people now are more. They fight a lot. So they receive a lot of message, no? And they are a little bit curious now about coffee than many years ago. There is machine. You can buy professional machine for home. You can buy good coffee. So people starting is a very slowly process. But this is good because if you work in the right way, so you have the right weapon to fight and to stay close to these people. So, and this is the reason that we change a little bit. Okay. By the way, coffee, Arabica and Robusta. We do a lot of tests here. Just I give you an idea. In 1 year is more than 200 tests that we do. Most of the time, we can cancel some samples. So we say this is not good. So you have to make another sample. And this is for Caffè Cagliari, how we buy the coffee. But we do test with the competitors. We buy no here. Yeah, of course. No, blend. We buy coffee. We go on the supermarket. We go on the bar. We buy. We come here and we do tests to discover how is our level. Because most of the time when you go to the barista, you say, but how I have to pay so much money for a coffee? And because there is another company that give me the same quality at the same price. Okay, this is so this is good for us to understand where are you now. Very important. This is a very important. So we do green coffee test, we do test with the competitors, and example, we change the panel. Every 2 or 3 years, we change the person. So we change, or maybe some days we ask one person to not come, just to see if the panel work in the right way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When the coffee arrives, we do another test to check if the coffee is the same coffee that we tested, example, 2 months ago. Very important. So we match the coffee that is here, that the coffee that was tested 2 months ago, to see if the producer in Guaxupé, in Guatemala, in Costa Rica give us the same coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
This is very important, very important. Then we stock, and one of the characteristics of Caffè Cagliari is that we not roasted because we like roasted. We roasted only when there is something to produce. This is very important, okay? Because we prefer that every time in your bag there is a fresh coffee, okay? It's possible that most of the time, in 2 or 3 weeks, we have a new batch inside of our storage. So the coffee you can drink after 2 years if you want. You can drink after 10 years if you want. You can drink the coffee after 100 years. Because the coffee probably will lose all the flowers, but you can do it. There is nothing that, example like a milk or yogurt, so when the coffee is roasted, you can keep it for most of the times.
Yeah.
Second point that is very important for us is that we test all the machine. We have a machine, grinders, we do a lot of tests, we have a company that sends the machine. So, and what is the best for us and what we like is the stress test. So we overuse the machine, we overuse the grinder to put in a stress, to see if it can work in a busy bar or in a busy activity, and this is important. But what is the most important is how you can use this machine. I'll give you an idea. Very nice touchscreen. Very nice. You can do what you want. You can control the pressure, temperature, but you have to study before.
Just in cars.
You have to study a lot. Okay? The manual possible is 120 pages.
Yeah, read the fucking manual.
It's work great. And you have only one button.
Yeah.
So you have to decide what you want to do it. All of these machines do coffee. It's like in the watch. Swatch and Rolex do the same, but in a different way. So depend what you want to do. But in the end, they do coffee. Here maybe it's more professional. Maybe you have a feeling to change a couple of days the parameters, because you have to remember that the coffee change with the time, with the weather, with the humidity, and with your humor. Very important.
Oh, really? Yeah. I also see it like this, that, for example, coffee from the energetic point of view has also kind of spirit, like plants have etheric oils, other things, and so the capacity of the plant is to connect people, for example. This is why coffee is popular.
There is another thing. Every time I take this like an example. If you ask a bottle of Coke, the barman open the fridge, take the bottle, put here. Sorry, this is not the correct. Open and drink. 90% you will find Coke inside. Coffee. You wake up, the barman wake up in the morning with the wife, and maybe they have a little bit fight.
Oh.
Normally. Normally.
And then?
Okay, then. So you arrive in your bar that you are a little bit angry. Is outside rain. Okay? So you have a lot of humidity. You not clean the machine. Maybe you are not so careful to adjust the depurator, the salt, the water. Maybe you not adjust the level of grinder. So, but you do the coffee, and maybe you not control the temperature, and blah 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 blah. You serve probably poison. In front of you there is a customer, but there is the difference. That this is my name, and this is the coffee. Here, I'm sure that this is a good coffee, probably the best coffee that I can do. But if it's this chain not work in the right way, I can be David Copperfield. I can be the best magician in the world, but this trick doesn't work. So, man, machine, grinder, coffee, everything must be in the right and in the same tunnel, in the same direction. This is very important. And this is sometimes when someone tell me, I went in a Caffè Cagliari bar and they drink a very bad coffee. So, okay, I phone to Giulia or Claudio, go to see, and they say, Matteo, the machine was really dirty. The grinder was the how do you say, the machine?
The burst.
Was destroyed. The water was very hard.
Wow.
What you can do it? It's not my guilty.
No, yeah. It's self-responsibility of
Yes.
the owner.
So, but in any case, the people drink Caffè Cagliari, not Mario Caffè. And this is different, no? And this is the reason that today is not enough produce coffee. It's not enough. You have to produce culture. And this is the most difficult things to do it. Because we are not a school, we are not a mother,
Yeah.
and we are not an official teacher. For this reason, every 2-3 months we call barista here, we do a lesson, that most of the time they are more scary about how to do the best cappuccino. But they are not concentrated that before to do the best cappuccino, you have to check the level of water. Water is the basement of the coffee, is the basement. Water, machine, grinder, your hands, and the last thing is coffee. Incredible, eh? The coffee is the last part of this incredible trip. Everything must be perfect in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and we have to teach, learn every day.
Yeah. The last thing and the most complex.
Yes.
You see here already
Yes.
at the sensoric description how many parameters there are.
I think that are more than 80. I don't remember. But of course, it's very difficult to find and check it. But if you want to do training, it's possible that you find most of this. But in the reason that is not easy to recognize all of this, they do something that is more simple, less.
Yeah.
Like fruit, orange, acidity, alcohol, something that is green, paper, chemical, burned, cereal. And it's difficult also this, very difficult, believe me. This is impossible. This is
Yeah.
this is difficult. This is quite simple. So from 80, you have less than 10. Roasted, dry fruit, sweet, floral, fruity, acidity, and green.
And
So-
what we have in the middle? Check.
Now, of
huh?
course. But
Yeah.
if you are able to do it, this could be a great experience. So, and this means that you have to learn your pan, like when someone play soccer. It's a training.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
training. Okay, now green coffee. We move to the roasting coffee area.